Well done.
We've
So
got the okay now. That's it.
I've got the okay. There you go.
Good job.
Right, what I'll do is ask everybody if they would mute themselves, so that we don't get any background noise, no toilets flushing and things like that going on. And I'm going to go through, as I say, a series of about a dozen slides. I'm going to fly through them. I'm not going to spend loads of time on them, but it's really to illustrate what we're looking at within the challenge itself. So I am going to jump on share screen, and I'm going to ask Charles to let me know if he can see screen okay. Yeah, and I'm just going to do it as presentation there so I can do it. Okay, so that's filling the screen, hopefully. Good. Well, why the 30-day challenge will transform your business. Well, I'm not going to come up with the obvious thing to start with. First of all, I'm going to paint a bit of a picture that I see lots of therapists and coaches, the problems that they hit really, and the solution to that problem, which tends to be a bit costly. And that solution that tends to be a bit costly is to get a coach. Now, you've got to hit a certain level of, I guess, income, or you've got to have some savings in order to get a coach. Now, over the years, I've had dozens of coaches and I've still got coaches now. And the reason for that is because coaching in business or marketing isn't the same as what you do as a therapist. You're trained to support clients, not necessarily to run a business, unless you've run a business before. You're not necessarily going to be skilled in building a brand. And as much as you might be brilliant at helping your clients get the changes that they want, there's a good chance that you're going to struggle outside of that arena. And that's why it's really important to have a coach. But if you can't afford it, that doesn't mean to say that you can't have a business. But if you do have a coach, then you'd be able to overcome a lot of the challenges very, very quickly. You would speed up the time because so many therapists face feeling invisible, either online or in their local area. They're forever second guessing themselves about the pricing and the offers and niching. I mean, I see it going on all the time in different forums, which is like hypnotherapy sort of practice forums. Everyone's got an opinion, haven't they? Have you noticed that? They've all got opinions. And quite often, the ones with the biggest opinions are the ones with the smallest bank accounts as well. The professional, um, advisors to people the same as them. And you can end up wasting a lot of time following the wrong people's advice. And it might be that you get right close to where you want to be without realizing it, and then you just ditch all the efforts. You didn't realize you was just on that breaking point of starting to make an impact. But because you got nobody really on your side and you're not really knowing what you're doing, then a lot of effort is wasted. And a lot of people in the therapy business really do fear being judged. And we all know that imposter syndrome seems to be a very real thing within this industry as well. And that ends up meaning that people aren't visible. And if you're not visible, then you're invisible. And if you're invisible, then nobody is going to know what you do, who you are. They're not going to know you, like you, trust themselves, or respect you. And another thing is, like, on the sales side of things, a lot of therapists really do hate sales. They find it a bit kind of yucky. And quite often they don't know how to turn interest into a booking or a sale or even a discovery call. So those are all the advantages of having a coach. A coach can guide you on all of those issues. And then there's the feeling overwhelmed, trying to figure out everything else on your own. Now, the other problem with having a coach, is, sorry, not the problem of having a coach. The other thing that a coach will help you with is to gain more clarity. It'll help you define who you help and how to talk about what you do in ways that people understand, instead of doing what I've seen people do, and that is try to educate clients about hypnotherapy and the history of it and mesmer and all those things. And I mean, it's a great way of putting people to sleep, but it's a little bit premature, because you don't want them to be asleep at this point. You want them to be paying attention and having a strategy, a simple strategy, a repeatable strategy to attract clients is really important as well, and not gimmicky ways. And you don't want to be burning out as well. And you want to know what to focus on. A coach will always help you to find out what to focus on, won't tell you what to focus on, but they'll help you to decide what to focus on and to work smarter and harder. And that's going to feed into your confidence. You're going to feel as though you're showing up authentically and consistently, and you're going to overcome your visibility fears. You're going to get past that imposter syndrome or those comparison traps, which I've been writing about in a few of my Facebook pages recently. That's a terrible one, the comparison trap. And a coach would help you realize your value and to own it, and also give you some accountability and help you with that momentum. The thing is, you get momentum anyway because you feel as though you're doing the right thing, so you just keep doing it. So, oh, this is working, rinse and repeat. And it offers you space to troubleshoot. But as I say, a lot of therapists coming into the game have spent all the money on training. So all the techniques and modalities and, the strategies, the latest shiny object, what they think they're going to need in order to get more clients, and then realize that they've got this massive pile of skills and no one to practice on. Now, the other problem with a coach is that a good coach is going to cost you between £100 and £500 an hour. I mean, I wouldn't even entertain a new or starting coach personally. The coaches that I've had over the years have been in this higher level bracket, and they've been in that bracket for a reason, because they've done it. They've got the battle scars. They've had the failures. They've had the successes. They know how to navigate things quickly. But I realise that not everybody can afford a coach. And so that's why I put together this, so that you can get all the guidance that you need within a Facebook group. And you can learn what you need in 5 days. And the idea is that you then rinse and repeat what you've learned in those 5 days for the next 25 days. So that's 30 days. And my hope for you, and I'm pretty confident that you will do this, but my hope for you is that you will get 5 clients within that period of time. And it's not going to cost you anything. There's nothing for sale. In fact, everything that I show you today is all for free, or I'll tell you how to get it for free. So we'll jump in and we'll get the first day out of the way. And the first day is to get clear on your niche. So this is a really easy day. You've just got to identify who you help, what problem you solve, and why it matters. And you're going to simply write out a niche statement. And I'm even giving you a fill in the blanks formula in order to do this. And if you're willing, then it'd be great if you would actually post what your formula is, what your niche statement is in the group to get some feedback. In fact, I'm going to open up a chat so that people can, put their stuff in for day one in the day one chat, and then I'll have a day 2 chat. So we've got like 5 chats running at any one time. But here's an example. I help busy professionals overcome stress and anxiety so they can feel calm, confident, and in control without relying on medication or years of therapy. Now, you might notice something about that. It's not about you. It's about them. It's about what they get out of it. Because I see people write their niche statements and it's like War and Peace and it's all about them. And that's not attractive. When somebody reads something like this, then they realize, oh, they're talking about me. And that's what you want them to do, because you want to get attention from the people who you want to get attention from. Not anybody, specific. That's why it's called a niche. Now, somebody asked me yesterday, well, I already work in one niche. Would it be okay if I started a new niche as well? And I'm like, well, yeah, because who's going to know? I mean, people aren't going to judge you and go, oh, God, they're in every niche, them. That's just worrying about people judging. The more you do, the more you get noticed. So if you're already a quit smoking therapist and you want to work a little bit more with anxiety, then use this 30-day program to push out an anxiety niche. It might mean that you just have a separate landing page on your website where you direct people to, which is all about your anxiety niche and how you help people. But it's okay. There are no rules. You make up the rules. It's your business. And people aren't going to be judging you and go, oh, last week there was promoting cigarettes and this week they're promoting anxiety. People have got better things to do than to be judging you and what your actions are. They're not that interested. We want them to be interested for the right reason, but actually there's that much distraction out there that they're not even thinking about what you was doing last week, never mind yesterday. So, it's not going to be a problem if you decide that you're going to use this as a complete experiment. In fact, I think that'd be a really cool thing to do, to use the 30 days as an experiment for a niche that you'd like to test out. So, day 2, this is the one that'll get everybody quaking in the chairs, and that is creating an irresistible offer. And without overthinking it. Quite simply, to outline a clear and tangible offer. Now, the idea is that you don't have to build it yet. You're just creating it, you're writing it down. And I've actually created a template called the Offer Builder Canvas to help you to shape your idea. Again, another template. And if you want, you can share your draft offer in the group for support or feedback. But an offer can be as simple as, I help anxious professionals feel calm and in control using a 3-session hypnosis package designed to reset their nervous system. The first session is free. Let's chat. There's the offer. The first session is free. Let's chat. So you're making something irresistible. They're getting 3 for the price of 1, essentially, which people are quite used to. So you don't have to overthink it. And if you was to put something together like this for anxiety, and it was a 3-session hypnosis package, you've probably already got all of the scripts and everything that you would need to do that straight away. So you might not have to even think about what you're going to do. You might already have it in place. But it's about keeping it super simple. If it's something that's going to take you a week to create or something like that, then there's a good chance you're overthinking it. So day 3 is to get visible and to start conversations. So, what I say is posting at least 3 different places. Facebook groups or LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever you're active. And you can use, and this is another formula I'm giving you. In fact, it's already in the group already in the file section, the value plus invite formula to help to engage the clients. And then start by DMing, people when they're engaging with you, direct messaging them. And if you want to, you can share what you've done in the group. But you could put a post out, something like struggling to sleep. Try this 60-second self-hypnosis trick tonight. And you might have a video. And in that video, at the end of the video, you might put, If you feel like a free, if you'd like a free sleep hypnosis audio, direct message me sleep and I'll send it over. You can have that on the screen at the end of the video. Now, Canva, you can do all of that in Canva. You don't have to leave Canva. You can do everything like that in Canva. Anybody who's in the Therapy Business Club already has all the training for all of that. But if anybody here who isn't in the Therapy Business Club would like my 17-minute video, and it's just on YouTube, to show you how to record your voice and to do these simple posts like this on Canva, then just direct message me and I'll send it to you. Now, did you notice I've just given you an example of getting visible and starting a conversation because I've just offered something to solve a problem, so that you direct message me, so I actually provide that. That's how easy it is. But, you know, I'm serious. I will actually share that. It wasn't an example. So it's all about getting engagement. It's all about getting people's attention. And it's appealing to what their needs are. So the next one is day 4, to follow up like a pro. Reach out to anybody who engaged with your content in the past 3 days. And I'm actually supplying another swipe file, a toolkit, to make it easy and natural so that you can reply to people. Because a lot of people think, oh, what do I say? And quite often they'll get a bit salesy in what they're saying. Well, in the swipe file, it's not salesy at all. It's showing genuine interest, that they showed interest. It's what they call an indication of interest, and we should always reward an indication of interest with a response. So you're just following up. Even if somebody liked the video, you could even say to them, thank you for liking the video. Would you like me to send you the hypnosis audio for free? When I started Hypnosis Business Club, I was having not 3 of these a day. I was having 30 conversations every day. I disciplined myself to have 30 conversations a day every day. And I was getting an 85 to 90% conversion rate on those, which means I was getting 85 to 90% of those people joining the Hypnosis Business Club. Now, some of you here today, I might have actually communicated with you back then, and that might be why you're actually in the Hypnosis Business Club. It's a long time ago now, but it built very quickly. Within a matter of months, I had 300 people. And then once I got 300 people into that group, I was getting hundreds of people wanting to join because people were talking about it, because there was value. I invited them and I gave them value. Invite, value. Yeah. So, you know, it's a simple process. So everything that I'm teaching within all of this training is stuff that I've done myself. It's not theory. It's very practical. It requires work. And we've really got to sit on our hands when we feel as though we want to sell something all the time. What we're doing is we're giving value, and we're building that comfort and trust, and we're building that likability, and then we're getting somebody to trust that they're making the right decision when they actually say, do you know what, I'd like to book some sessions with you. That's what we're aiming for with this. People all talk about, you know, you got to like you, know you, trust you, but they've got to trust themselves that they're making the right decision. They don't want to look stupid, especially buying something like hypnosis, which is a bit nebulous. You know, imagine them turning around to the partner and say, oh yeah, I'm going to have a hypnosis session, and the potential kind of like, what are you doing that for? You know, it does come with sometimes a certain amount of disrespect, or people kind of think it's a bit woo-woo. So we've got barriers that we've got to get through. You know, we're not selling boxes of chocolates. We're not selling something that people are buying all the time. So we've really got to get through those barriers. And it's about doing the work. You know, sending at least 3 follow-up messages, you know, each day, really getting onto it and getting into that habit, getting into that system, getting into that discipline is the only way that you're going to make it happen. So, day 5. Really lock in your system. You've got a system going, celebrate it. Choose what is helping you to get more visible, what routine is working for you, what platforms are working for you, how often, and what kind of content are working for you. Now, I'm going to show you some free resources that I've got for you, which will help you to record all of this information, like, what platform's working for you, how often, what kind of content. And it's important to set up a weekly time slot to review what's working, because if you can't measure it and you can't change it, you can't improve it. And it might be that you're kind enough to share what your plan is so the group can look at it. No one's going to jump on it and copy it and go after identical people to you. There's more than enough business out there. It's just that they don't know you exist yet. That's the reason why you haven't got them as customers. But there are lots of people out there looking for hypnotherapy. And then reflect on what worked. Reflect on what surprised you. Reflect on what you'll keep doing. So these are all the free worksheets, templates, resources that I'm going to be putting into the Facebook page in the file section at some point later on tomorrow. So you're going to get an inner critic worksheet. So it's going to help you to reframe your self-doubt and your second guessing that holds you back during your visibility and marketing tasks. So you'll be able to look at it and relate to certain qualities that you might be, relating to, and it's going to give you a reframe on that. You're also going to get a client attraction an action tracker, 25-day journal, so you can keep track of the posts and the direct messages, the daily wins. I've done it so you can print it out like a PDF, and it's a day per page. Just fill it in, make notes, and you can look back and see what worked well. And then there's the first direct message generator, swipe file toolkit with over 30 ready-to-use messages and templates to start conversations, which are natural and don't feel salesy. Because I know a lot of people will go, oh, I can't message them. And then all of a sudden they'll have a cup of tea and something else happens and then just don't do it. There's no excuse for not doing it when you've got some ready-to-use messages. I'm not saying you should copy exactly what I've put. What I'm suggesting is that you adapt them and adopt them. And then if you're not sure about what to post, I've called it the post prompter wheel. I mean, the idea is you could just randomly, drop your pencil and see what it goes on, print it out, just 12 creative content ideas. You're not going to be wondering what to post. People spend hours thinking about what to post. Oh my God, I would get so bored doing that. We've got AI, we've got all these things. There are 20 powerful prompts. Now, you could take those 20 prompts, and they're only prompts that I'm giving you, not AI prompts, but you could take those 12 powerful prompts and pop them into AI and have yourself a whole month's worth of ideas for posts that relate to your niche. It's that easy. Minutes. And I joke, I say, do you know what? When you use AI for stuff like this, it takes you longer to copy and paste into a Word document than it does for AI to come up with the ideas in the first place. There is no excuse for not coming up with some good ideas and to keep at it. We are in such a privileged position, free tools out there that you can use for graphics, for AI. It's crazy. And then I've got the offer builder canvas. So you can create a clear, simple, magnetic offer, even if you're just starting out or you're still figuring it out. Again, the example I showed you, it was super simple. And then there's the social proof starter kit, basically how to collect testimonials from people, including some script ideas to put to them to ask them for a testimonial, and a tracking system. Because, we'll get a customer, we'll be pleased, we've got paid, they've got a result, and we'll say, oh, it'd be great if you could fill us, a testimonial in, or send them the Google business profile link to fill out a testimonial. And that 80% of them are going to forget, maybe more. But when you've got a tracker, when you've actually got a sheet of paper and you write the name down, and when you ask them to do it, and then you could actually say, is it okay if I just follow up and chase you up on that in 5-7 days' time? Now, That's an accountability statement. They say, oh, yeah, but I'll do it. But yeah, please remind me. Then they don't want reminding. There's a chance that they're going to do it straight away. But if they do need reminding, they've already given you permission to remind them. But it's also a reminder for you, because before you know it, you're back on seeing more customers and you forgot about that customer and you haven't got any referrals, any testimonials. If you look at my kevwebster.com website, there's more testimonials, video testimonials and written testimonials on there than there is writing about what I do in my business, because I understand the value of social proof. It is worth its weight in gold and some. So having a little tracking system is going to be really valuable to you. And finally, a follow-up sequence of emails, so that you could send out emails to past clients or people who might have sent you an email about something, or whose email that you've asked for. And you can send them 5 emails in a series. It could be 2 or 3 days in between. And those emails will nurture those clients. So it will turn conversations into bookings. It's written for you. Again, make it your own. Don't just go with what I've put. Make it your own. But it's important that you do follow up. There's a cycle of these things, and it's important to follow up. If you had 1 day a week where you just kind of like doing all of the sort of following up work that you need to do, or creating some graphics for the next week and that type of stuff, get into a discipline. I stayed with Richard Barker recently, the incredible hypnotist, as he calls himself, and he is. And we got back from a training, and I was staying at his house with him. We got back from a training. We've been training all day, and we got back about 7 p.m. And you know what he did? He opened his laptop and he went, Kev, if you want to go and get a shower or whatever you want to do, I'm going to need an hour. I've just got the work I need to do for today. And he sat there and he got on with his work for that day. He just spent hours training, and yet he sat there and he got on with his email follow-ups. He created some graphics. He posted some of the content from the training that we'd been delivering. He was on it. And I says to him, I've got to admire your work ethic. He went, what are the choices there? We've got to keep working at this. We can't get comfortable, because people will quickly forget us. And he was absolutely right. And, you know, for somebody who's so busy and so successful, probably one of the most successful hypnotherapists and hypnotists in the world, and I don't say that lightly, and he was sitting down and he was doing the work. I mean, if I was him, I'd get somebody to do it for me, but he was doing the work. So, all the way through this, please reserve judgment. Reserve judging your business by its current results, because it's like judging an entire garden by what's happening to bloom today, and you're missing what's going on underneath the surface. Now, I know that is just one thing that hypnotherapists do an awful lot of. They judge how they're doing. Oh, I've not got any clients, you know, I'm not doing very well, all these statements. And yet, if you're doing the work, you're marketing, then underneath the surface, lots of things are happening. And those things will blossom and bloom. I've seen it in my own business over the years. And, you know, I got an email the other day from a client that I haven't done any work with for about 6 months. And they sent me a message and said, oh, are you available in the middle of May? We'd like you for our Wellbeing Day. We want to open up 5 slots, 1-to-1 slots for our staff for you. £750 worth of work. I charge £150 an hour, because I've sown the seeds and I've done the work and I've kept in touch with them. I'll put new ideas to them. You know, I'm their guy who does the Wellbeing Days. They've got other people as well. I'm pretty sure that the other people that they use will not give as much content as what I give. I'm actually sending a little workbook that I've created for all of the people that are going to attend that day, just as a bit of I guess, a mindset help for them all. I've branded it with my name and everything, and I've sent that off to them already within 3-4 days of getting the email from them, just to confirm that I am available. Oh, and there's a PDF here with a kind of mindset shift for them all to read before they come on the session. That is being tenacious. That's being on the ball. And it's always realizing that there's an opportunity to sell yourself by not selling yourself, but by selling yourself in a really, really positive light. So let's see what we've got on the last page. That's it, the last page. I can stop sharing. So, any questions coming up from what I've gone through so far? Elisa?
I have a couple of questions. So I was asking in the chat about the points for every day. I mean, Charles told that we can watch again the video, but if I don't know if every day you will post or do this, just to
Yeah.
because it takes time to watch the video every day or to
Oh yeah. No, I don't expect you to watch the video every day. You're going to get
yeah.
you're getting a workbook, and
Workbook.
the PDF
Work.
workbook will have all 5 days in there.
Okay,
What
great.
what
Thank you.
what I haven't also said is that on day 6, we're going to have another one of these sessions, so people can have a chat about how they're doing as well. So we've got a bit of a catch up
Okay.
on what's happening.
Great. Yeah, and two other question. So it's 30 days, right? A month, the challenge, or
Yeah, I've called it a 30-day challenge.
30 days.
I hope it's a lifetime challenge, Elisa. I don't
Yeah,
want
yeah,
it to
no,
be just a
sure,
30-day
sure.
challenge.
No, sure. It's just that for Easter I will be traveling few days, so it will be
Okay.
a bit complicated.
I
You
don't
know,
think
when I okay,
obviously everybody's got to manage their own affairs
yeah, your
themselves.
time.
I'm
No,
not going to
no,
be holding you accountable. In
no,
fact,
no. It's
if everybody just goes off and does it themselves and never gets back in touch but has great success, then that's fine as well. But yeah, there's
yeah,
no accountability as far as I've got a wedding to go to, or I've got a bone in my foot, so I can't do that today, kind of thing. It's you're running on your own steam. These are guidelines.
sure. And then another question is, I mean, I'm learning a lot of new things, but I tend to focus. So an issue I not issue, or I don't know how to call it, is, for example, now I'm focusing YouTube, and I have to say this week I spent most of my time working in YouTube, creating videos, editing. I'm trying different ways, and then I suppose I use very little time for posts, some time for networking. So how do you do? Because of course I don't want to go in overwhelm, but I know I have to learn when something I know how to do. It's quicker. Now I make posts in a quicker way than YouTube. But just can you give some advice or something or your opinion?
Well, practice is probably,
Practice. Okay.
and I mean, if somebody says they haven't got enough time, um, then I mean, I've been in business since I was 21. So if somebody
Mhm.
says I don't have enough time, then my answer usually is, well, there's 24 hours in a day.
Mhm.
As much as people will give reasons, and I usually translate reasons. This might be harsh, but I usually translate reasons really as excuses. So if somebody doesn't have the discipline to realize that they should portion only a couple of hours for that, and only a couple of hours for that, and only a couple of hours for that, if they don't have the self-discipline to do that, then as a cynic, I would say they're not going to survive in business anyway. So they might as well go and get a job in the local cafe, or do whatever they're going to do, because it takes discipline and it takes focus. I know you mentioned focus there, but it's about being smart with the focus that you put in, and you
Yeah,
might want to learn something and really get in and learn it. Um, but I would use brevity as well. You know, if you're
yeah,
spending
yeah,
if you're
yeah, yeah,
spending a load of time on a video and editing it, it's taking you 6 hours. Then that's way too much time to be spending on
yeah,
doing
yeah, yeah, yeah.
something like that.
No,
It's
I know, I know.
I would have a look in the mirror and ask yourself if you're being a perfectionist or not.
A bit. Yeah, yeah, I have to, you know, I'm a bit perfectionist and I'm still trying to, how to say, it's when it's something new because I don't know what people
Yeah,
expect and so on.
I
Because
understand.
I'm not a perfectionist for other things, but it's more like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I understand, yeah, yeah, I have to learn the brevity and learn the quicker and manage the time management.
Yeah, and don't be hard on yourself as well. I mean, day one is a
Sure.
easy job. You should be able to do it
Yeah.
in half an hour. So that means you've got the rest of the day. If you haven't got anything else to do, you've got the rest of the day. So you've got the manual in front of you. It might be that you think, right, I've got that. That's day one sorted. I'm happy with that. Um, do I take the day off and feel good about it, or do I maybe look at some other areas where I can improve some skills so that I'm not going to get sidetracked or bogged down in other tasks? Um, I tend to get the jobs out of the way that I don't want to do first, and then, like I said, I would make 30 conversations every morning when I was building the Hypnosis Business Club. So yeah, get the jobs out of the way that you don't want to do
Mhm.
first, but only
Okay.
allow yourself a certain amount of time to do them, so that you've got enough time to do the other things that you need to do as well. But it's a process,
Yeah, sure,
and
sure.
yeah, but no one's. The thing is with this, you're not getting a coach to hold your hand. That's why
No,
it's
no, no, I know, I know, I know.
that's why it's
We
free.
have to
You
do
have your
our work.
self discipline. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Great questions. And thank you for sharing those things as well, Elisa, because they're all very, very real things as well. Yeah. Anybody
Try
else?
my best. Always.
I know you do. Anybody else got any questions? Anything coming up about the um, the 5 days? Does it seem straightforward? Yeah. As I said, there's a workbook in there, lots of templates within the workbook. I mean, when you look at the file section, when I've got it all filled in tomorrow, you're going to look at it and think, oh my goodness, there's a lot of stuff in there. There's going to be about 15 things in there. But the what I've related to in this presentation, and you can see the value. You just open them up or print them out or do whatever you need with them, and you'll see the kind of the value in them. There's no waste in there. It's all about efficiency, but it's giving you ideas, or it'll help you to stimulate new ideas around what you're doing. And it worked for me. I mean, I actually did it as a coaching program. It cost me about 3 grand to do this coaching program, and it was 3 months altogether. There's a lot more to it, but we was getting coached once a week in a group, um, and my attitude was that I was going to get my money back and some within 6 months, and that's kind of what it promised. And I remember the first time I put my kind of offer um, onto the Hypnosis Business Club, I sold $15,000 worth in one day. And it was like, whoa, now I'm busy. um, but it would all sort of built up to that. I'd built the comfort, I built the trust, and people were trusting that they were making the right decision. And the likability, I'd given lots of resources, I'd been very generous, I was in service, all the things that are my philosophy. I'd done all those things. And I believe I was the only person in that coaching program to actually achieve much, because they were getting bogged down with the details. They were getting bogged down with perfectionism, and I was just doing it. I mean, I joke, if something's 80% good enough for me, I do it, because I very rarely get anybody saying, oh, you've made a mistake or no, or that ain't very good or whatever. Who's judging it? I just get it done. I was in the printing industry for years, and my philosophy is if it's done, it's good. Because there's no point in looking at a pile of orders and they've not been delivered. So doing the work isn't about getting it perfect. It's doing it to an acceptable standard. And I guess you got to have a think about what your standards are. I'm not suggesting you put any rubbish out, but at the same time, you're not going to spend a year polishing it. Because you know what? In a year's time, it'll have gone out of fashion and nobody will want to buy it. And trust me, I've done it. I created a course for Udemy once, and I spent 3 months building a course all about YouTube, to put it on Udemy. And the week before I put it on Udemy, YouTube changed a load of the features and functions that my course relied on, absolutely 100%. I had to give it away. I couldn't actually sell it because I knew that it was like the whole structure. And my coach at the time said, okay, right, we're going to turn this into an advantage. You're going to put it onto Udemy, and you're going to put it as a free course. And when people subscribe to your course, you get their email. And then what you're going to do is you get their email within Udemy. You're going to build another course on another subject. And the minute you launch it, you're going to email all of those people who have already enjoyed the course that you've already done, even though some of the information of it had gone out of date, and you're going to get some of those people buying it. And I did that. 10,000 people got the free course. 10,000. I couldn't believe it. But then I had 10,000 emails. So when I launched my little copywriting course, that was only $9.99 because Udemy tends to drop the price right down as like a special offer. I started selling hundreds of them instantly. Then I got a company from China asking to white label it. They wanted to buy the entire video series within months of us putting it on the market. And I was like, they're not buying that. They're not having my blood and sweat and all that hard work I've put in. They're not having that. And my coach said, you're selling it to them because it will never see the light of day. It's just an idea that they've got. I've sold loads of my courses and I've never seen them out there. I've searched for them. They never do it. Or they might just give it into a company for the company to use for their staff. It was $750 a go to white label it. I white labeled that course 3 times over 2 years as well. And it still sells today. Not very often because things have changed. But yeah, we can get caught out. Don't get caught out by spending too long on something because it'll go out of fashion or it'll have gone stale. Keep it fresh, and that's why it's done in a week because what you're doing is fresh. So any other questions? Anything else? I'm going to put this video into the Facebook page, so if anybody wants to rewatch it, they can. But as I say, all of the things I've gone through are going to be all individually available as well.
There's an important question in the chat from Nicola.
Okay, so do you need all the tech set up already, like booking apps, Weber, websites, Facebook pages, and everything? You could do it all from a Facebook page. I mean, if you want, I mean, you're not expecting to get hundreds and hundreds of people, but if you wanted to set up a booking app like TidyCal, which is $39 for life, and will handle your Zoom and your PayPal or Stripe payments, then that will do all of that for you, and it's really easy. Do you have a booking system already? Okay, so you got a booking system. I would expect everybody to at least have a Facebook page or some presence online, but you could do it just with a Facebook page. I never sent anybody to my website when I sold all those packages. I was doing it all off my Facebook page. That's where my communication was. Yes, people will go and do a little bit of due diligence and go and will stalk you online to see what you're doing and who you are and that you're a real person, of course. But you don't need too much social proof. Testimonials are probably worth more than anything. A good Google business profile that's properly optimized. But having something like an email system, well, if you're individually emailing people, then you just email them through whatever email you use. Like, you know, I use Hotmail, show my age there, aren't I? Or Gmail or whatever else. You don't need anything else. There is no real tech setup because this is about conversational marketing. It's having a conversation with somebody, and you've got all of the tools on there for free. Something else I wanted to share, and that is, and some of you will be aware of this already, but in the Therapy Business Club, we've been creating lots of books with scripts. So I've just put in the chat there. There's a link to the shop page in Therapy Business Club. You don't need to be a member to get into the shop and to buy things from the shop, but members do get a discount. And there's the Visionary Vault, which have got dozens and dozens of scripts that you could use to record as part of one of your packages if you wanted some ideas. Now, I did say everything was for free. So if you was to go into the Therapy Business Club shop and you click on one or two of those Visionary Vault PDFs, you'll notice there's a little black button that says free download. There's a free script to download for out of the 7 or 6 on there. There's a free script to download from 6 of them or 5 of them, a complete script. So you don't have to pay for anything for that. It's free. It's an instant PDF download. So if you wanted to get some ideas, or you wanted to have some scripts, you wanted to record something as part of your irresistible offer, that's free as well. But I just mentioned that we do have those in the shop if you wanted to get a series, like a weight loss series of recordings or anxiety and things like that. And more of them coming because they've been so successful. They've been, as they say, selling like hotcakes. But as I say, we've put some freebies in there as well, so people can see the quality before the buy. So any other questions on the chat there, Charles? No. Okay. Okay. Any last questions? Are you excited? Does it make you feel a little bit more hopeful and confident that you can follow a system instead of just guesswork? Some good nods. Good. Because that really is, it's having a system. The reason, I've been in marketing since I was 21, and yet, I come into the hypnotherapy arena, not really understanding how I would market to clients or, to my audience. And so I thought, I need some help. And that's why I went and joined a coaching program, because I realized that there was maybe just a couple of little missing links there that I needed to connect. I had the skills, I could do the graphic design, I could do the copywriting, I could edit videos, I could do all these things, but connecting with my audience, and I'm an active hypnotherapist. I don't just work with therapists for their marketing. I'm actively working as a hypnotherapist and coach as well. I know a lot of people in the industry that just train people, hypnotherapy and stuff like that, and they've got successful businesses. But I've got a successful hypnotherapy and coaching business as well as my marketing business. And the likes of Richard Barker has got a very, very successful hypnotherapy business where he sees clients one-to-one, as well as his hypnosis business where he goes and does shows all over the world on cruise ships and everything else. We're wearing two hats. And when you get people who are walking, they're walking the walk and talking the talk, then you're getting information, advice that is effective. It's not theory. Nothing I've given you here is theory. It's all practical advice that works, that I do on a daily basis and have done for years. So if you get stuck, then you know that there's going to be a logical answer, probably a psychological answer, knowing most hypnotherapists. That'll be the barrier. It won't be a technological barrier, it'll be a psychological barrier. It's kind of like, my best advice would be get over yourself. Just do it. Nobody's what did my coach say? There's more to life than thinking about yourself. What great advice that is. That did make me chuckle. Yeah. Okay. One last question? No? Okay. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to see what you achieve. And as I say, I'll create some chats within the actual group so that, you know, a day one chat, a day two chat. So the chat will be related to that kind of exercise. That probably work, that, won't it? So that if I know there's loads of chats in day three, I know that people are struggling on day three and I can jump in there and answer some questions. And I would like to think that those of you that are, you know, are working through it and doing well with it would help other people out as well. I did have an idea of people like buddying up, but that's probably complicating things too much. But, you know, do what you want to do. A lot of you know each other anyway. So if you want to help each other, then help each other with it as well. Share what's working. Keep it secret if you want. But whatever you do, just practice, 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 and test your ideas as well. Okay, right. Well, I will say good night and welcome to this challenge. And I'm excited about it. So I hope you are too.
Thanks, Kev.
Thanks, everybody. I'll stop recording now.